and we're gonna have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, you and me. Will you do something for me?
Do you still believe in love as you are now? Do you still hold any expectations for love today? This is a treasure-level romance film, and the strength and inspiration it gives to people can be endless. The story begins in the summer of 1940, when a poor young man named Noah meets the innocent and lively Allie, and every smile and glance from her quietly stirs his heart. Usually a man of few words, Noah gathers his courage to approach her, but his sudden invitation is met with a firm rejection. Clearly unwilling to give up, Noah waits until the Ferris wheel slows down and suddenly jumps onto their seat.
I'm Noah Calhoun.
So?
Allie has no intention of dealing with this reckless stranger, but Noah clings to the Ferris wheel with his bare hands, placing his own safety in her kindness.
Oh my God!
I'm not kidding! No, stop fooling around!
What are you doing?
Hey, fine, I'll go out with you.
No, don't do me any favors.
No, I want to!
You want it?
Yes!
You want it? Say it.
I want to go out with you!
Say it again.
I want to go out with you!
Kind-hearted Allie agrees, but as payback, she makes sure Noah embarrasses himself on the spot. The next day, Noah finds Allie to honor the date they made the night before, but a girl admired by everyone is not so easily won, so she simply pretends it never happened. Noah does not lose heart and stays by Allie's side, as if saying, "Blame your beauty, blame my hopeless devotion." Though Allie keeps refusing with her words, the smile on her face clearly says, "I cannot resist these dangerously sweet lines." That evening, Noah's close friend drags him to the movies, and coincidentally, the friend's girlfriend and Allie are there too. Clearly no accident. Noah has no interest in the movie at all and spends the entire time gazing at Allie with complete devotion. Noah pays no attention to the film, watching Allie with complete focus the entire time. And after the movie, the two go for a walk and learn through conversation that Allie is a well-behaved girl whose life has always been planned by her parents. Listening to Allie describe her mechanical life plan, Noah realizes she is not as free as he imagined, and without hesitation, he lies down in the middle of the road to watch the traffic lights change, inviting Allie to lie down with him. As expected, Allie refuses.
You don't do what you want.
These words strike deep into Allie's heart, and the two of them eventually lie down together on the empty street. Allie asks what they will do if a car comes, and Noah tells her to relax and learn to trust. Allie does not deny it and opens her heart, telling Noah that she loves painting because it brings her peace. A sudden car interrupts their conversation, and Noah shields Allie as they rush back to the sidewalk. This is a joy Allie has never experienced before, and she bursts into uncontrollable laughter.
Okay.
Noah awakens Allie's brave and free-spirited nature, and the two dance and embrace on the empty street, talking about their dreams for the future, as if the entire world belongs only to them. Love arrives like a sudden whirlwind, and Noah and Allie fall deeply in love. That joyful summer in the small town is destined to stay with Allie forever, as they grow inseparable and spend every day wrapped up in each other. Of course, arguments are inevitable in any relationship, but their love only grows stronger. One night, Allie returns home very late and carefully opens the door, only to find her father sitting there waiting, nervous and uneasy. Allie hears her father ask her to bring Noah home as a guest that weekend. On the day of the gathering, Noah, dressed entirely in black, stands out sharply against the sea of white, silently revealing the gap between families and social standing. Someone asks about Noah's job and income.
How much money do I make? Like 40 cents an hour?
After he answers, the room falls into silence, but the two of them believe that happiness has nothing to do with money, and that love alone can overcome everything. Late at night, Noah blindfolds Allie and brings her to an abandoned old estate that time has left in ruin. It turns out this is the Windsor Plantation, built long ago by a retired soldier who proposed to his wife on the very steps of this house. Flickering candlelight and a gentle, intimate atmosphere fill the space as the two imagine how they would restore the house together.
Blue shutters. And a room overlooking the river so I could paint.
Noah listens carefully, determined to make every dream come true. Allie turns to an old piano and begins to play skillfully, the flowing notes slipping from her fingers and straight into Noah's heart. The passionate love of youth reaches its fullest expression on this unforgettable night, but Finn's sudden appearance shatters the harmony. as Allie's parents have reported her missing after she failed to come home overnight. Noah rushes to drive Allie home, and while he is told to wait in the living room, Allie speaks privately with her parents, their argument growing intense.
He is trash, not for you.
The harsh words, spoken too loudly, reach Noah standing outside the door.
I love him.
You are 17 years old. You don't know anything about love.
Oh, and you do? You don't look at Daddy the way I look at Noah. You don't touch or laugh. You don't play. You don't know anything about love.
Love seems unable to cross the divide of reality, and seeing no way forward, Noah stands up and prepares to leave. Just as he reaches the door, Allie rushes out, and Noah gently wipes away her tears. She has a bright future ahead of her, while he is a poor young man with nothing, and the chaos in his mind drives him to run away. Allie believes Noah is retreating and angrily suggests they break up right then and there, and as Noah loses control, the argument escalates until they hurl painful words at each other, ending with Noah driving away. The next morning, Allie wakes to find the household staff packing up, as her parents have decided to end the vacation early. Unable to resist her mother's authority, Allie hurriedly rides her bike to Noah's factory, but Noah is out making deliveries, so she asks Finn to pass along a message that she loves Noah and hopes he will wait for her, before being quickly taken away by her mother. When Noah returns and learns that the woman he loves has left, he desperately searches for her, only to find it is already too late and the once grand estate is completely empty. A summer romance fades like a shooting star, but Noah refuses to give up, writing Allie a letter every single day for 365 days to express his longing, all without reply, because Allie's mother has secretly hidden the letters. Separated and unable to reach each other, the two who still miss one another choose to let go and begin new lives. Noah and his friend Finn enlist in the military, where war makes life feel fragile and fleeting, and Noah watches helplessly as Finn loses his life before his eyes. Meanwhile, Allie becomes a nurse and meets a wounded officer in the hospital. After recovering, the officer reveals himself to be handsome, intelligent, and charming, and most importantly, a perfect match by family standards, earning her parents' full approval.
Marry me. Make me the happiest man in the world.
Surrounded by blessings, Allie accepts his proposal, but the moment she puts on the ring, Noah's face suddenly appears in her mind. At the same time, Noah returns home after leaving the military, and his father gives him a check, having sold the old house so his son can buy the Windsor plantation he has always dreamed of. One day, while handling construction paperwork, Noah looks out the bus window and sees the woman he has missed every day, and he jumps off immediately, searching through the crowd until he finally spots Allie outside a restaurant. Allie is about to sit down to eat when the man beside her wraps an arm around her waist and kisses her affectionately, and she looks truly happy, clearly in a loving relationship. Outside, Noah's eyes fill with tears without him realizing it, leaving only shattered feelings behind. He returns to the Windsor plantation and numbs himself by repairing the house day after day, believing that once it is restored, Allie will return to him. Not long after, Noah's father passes away, and the sudden loss pushes Noah further into despair, leaving him supported only by his promise and unshakable devotion to Allie, the sole reason he continues to live. Noah finishes restoring the house, and because it is so beautiful, many buyers show interest. Yet he ultimately cannot bring himself to sell it. As the house gains attention, a local newspaper even comes to interview him, and with the restoration complete, the gears of fate begin to turn quietly. As the wedding day approaches, Allie is trying on her wedding dress while people around her offer blessings, and even newspapers report on this grand wedding. Yet in the lower right corner of the page appears a photo of Noah standing beside the Windsor plantation. Allie stares at the photo in disbelief, and in the next moment, she faints. News of her former love throws Allie into emotional turmoil, and she goes to her fiancé, saying she needs to go out to take care of something, though in truth, she wants to find Noah. After saying goodbye to her fiancé, Allie finally arrives at the Windsor plantation, and the house looks exactly as she once described to Noah, with white exterior walls and blue shutters. At that moment, Noah walks over, their eyes meet, and he simply looks at her in silence. Allie feels deeply awkward and prepares to drive away. Yet in her flustered state, she finds herself unable to escape this house, Noah leads Allie inside, only to learn that she is about to get married, and Noah responds by saying that in that case, they should just be friends. They have dinner together and talk late into the night, as if they have returned to the days when they were 17 or 18. As Allie prepares to return to her hotel, Noah invites her to come back the next day, saying he wants to take her somewhere.
Okay.
The next day, Noah takes Allie out on the lake, where the scenery feels like a dream, and Allie remarks on how much Noah has changed, praising how beautiful the house is.
Well, I promised you I would.
Allie's emotions begin to stir, yet she does not know how to respond, and just then, heavy rain begins to fall, her clumsy attempts to shield herself causing laughter, a joy she has not felt in 7 years. But everything feels too late, and Allie finally voices the question that has weighed on her soul.
Why didn't you write me? I waited for you for 7 years. Now it's too late.
I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day for a year.
7 years of misunderstanding pour out all at once, and the love once buried rises again. This kiss is one they have waited 7 years for. When Allie wakes the next morning, she sees the blue shutters and the studio overlooking the river, and it feels as though all happiness has arrived at once. Yet as a knock sounds at the door, that happiness slowly fades away. As her mother once again chooses to separate them, she takes her daughter to meet someone, and in the distance stands an elderly man who was once her first love. Someone she loved deeply, but knowing he could not give her the life she wanted, she ultimately chose to leave him. Looking at the man, the usually composed mother sheds tears of sorrow, and as she wipes them away, the dazzling diamond ring on her ring finger becomes a quiet irony. She meets his gaze, and what were once dreams and distant horizons have now become complete strangers. The mother hands all the letters Noah wrote back then to her daughter, allowing her to choose her own happiness. Allie's life once again falls into confusion, because choosing Noah may mean losing her parents' blessing and living a life of hardship, while completing the wedding with her fiancé promises comfort and security, yet not necessarily fulfillment. Noah hopes Allie will have the courage to face her true feelings, but he does not receive a clear answer, and once again, Allie leaves him behind. On the road, Allie's eyes are swollen from crying, and in her distress, she nearly crashes into an oncoming car, so she pulls over and randomly opens one of the letters. Noah's love turns into words that repeatedly strike Allie's heart, leaving her unable to stop crying. Back at the hotel, her fiancé has already been waiting for a long time, and Allie keeps apologizing, because before reuniting with Noah, perhaps she truly did love her fiancé. The scene shifts to two elderly people in conversation, as the old woman anxiously asks a question.
So what happened?
The old man stares at her in silence, as if she has always known the answer. The story returns to Allie, who stands elegant and radiant before her fiancé, yet still feels just slightly distant from her truest self. If that summer long ago had never existed, Allie might have lived happily with her fiancé, but Noah's appearance was like a shooting star, once again lighting up her silent world. Hearing the sound of a car, Noah quickly rises to look, and on that bright, sunlit day, he finally sees Allie, her face filled with hope for the future. After all they have endured, the two finally embrace. At this moment, the old woman speaks with tears in her eyes. The old man rushes over and wraps her in his arms, and the two hold each other as they cry. It turns out that Noah and Allie are the very people they are now, and elderly Allie is living with Alzheimer's disease, meaning she has forgotten the past, forgotten their shared happiness, and forgotten even their children. This is a condition that cannot be reversed once it appears. Yet Noah, who deeply loves his wife, always believes that their love can awaken what remains of Allie's memory. Day after day, as if speaking to a stranger, he tells her their story again and again, no longer remembering how many times he has done so. Miraculously, after hearing the story, Allie always remembers the man she loves, and this becomes Noah's reason for living. Sadly, Allie's memory lasts no more than 5 minutes, and the next moment, she pushes Noah away, asking in fear who he is. When Allie becomes overwhelmed, only medication can help calm her down. Noah looks at Allie with aching tenderness, his heart filled with pain, because forgetting is more frightening than death. Suffering from severe heart problems, He does not know how much longer he can remain by Allie's side. Memories of the past flood back as he looks through photos of their life together. And on the first page of a yellowed notebook are Allie's words. "If I forget you, read this to me, and I will come back to you, no matter how many years have passed." Noah has honored his promise to Allie from beginning to end, even as the time left to them slowly slips away. When Noah's heart condition worsens and he nearly loses his life, Allie watches with confusion and worry, yet she does not remember who this ill man is, feeling only that she is waiting for someone who failed to show up today. Late at night, Noah trembles as he makes his way to Allie's room, and this time, she does not push him away and even calls him by name. Holding his wife's hands tightly, Noah shows that spending a lifetime devoted to loving one person is, in itself, something extraordinary.
Do you think our love could take us away together?
I think our love can do anything we want it to.
Noah leans in to kiss Allie, and the two rest together, hands clasped, promising to meet again in another life. The next morning, when the nurse comes to check on them, she finds that they have fallen asleep forever, and even death cannot separate them. Looking back at this care facility, it is not hard to see that it is the Windsor plantation of Noah and Allie, where their souls remain forever in that summer. Love needs no excuses, and if two people do not end up together, it only means the love was not strong enough. May none of us be let down by time, and may we all eventually meet the one meant for our lives.